Give us free. Give us free.
Your Honor, please instruct the defendant that he cannot disrupt these proceedings with such outbursts.
Give us free. Give us free.
If we are to have any semblance of order in this country,
Give us free.
Peace, unity, and welcome my conscious and unconscious family and friends. This is the all-new BlackVillage Community Podcast, and I am truly your host of the show, JC, aka Afro Black, dropping nothing but the raw and uncut, without any fear, as I use my mic as a spear to chucker you with liberated truth. I am your host and your native soldier in the struggle. My purpose and mission for this show is first to enlighten, inform, and engage. And I want to engage with all who claim to know the truth. All truth seekers and my native family, I welcome you. This show is dedicated to all our indigenous native ancestors and to all those who've carried the mantle of truth, and to every person with the ability to throw off the chains of comfortable habit and unwarranted assumption and move in a new, liberated direction that is guided by truth and observational evidence, no matter where that direction may lead you. My main objective and purpose here is freedom, mind, soul, and spirit. That being said, welcome to the BlackVillage Community Podcast, and much love from our great universal goddess and mother of all, living here and above.
AC in the house.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white Aborigine. Rather, Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are Aborigines, but you don't like to be called an Aborigine. You want to be called an American.
You go to a reservation, you see poverty, you see churches, and you see liquor stores. When you go to any hood, you see poverty, you see churches, and you see liquor stores. So what make you think you're not on a reservation? Right? So all these achievements that we ascribe to African Americans, these are achievements by Native Americans who had to take on the identity of being African American because they was hanging us.
This means, in the case of an American Negro, it comes as a great shock to discover that Gary Cooper killing off the Indians when you were rooting for Gary Cooper, that the Indians were you, that the Indians were you. That the Indians were you. That the Indians were you.
But you think they was hanging people because they was Africans. Africans just want to go home. Nigga from here want to take his shit over. But you think they was hanging people because they was Africans. Africans just want to go home. Nigga from here want to take his shit over, want to take his shit over.
Our forefathers weren't the Pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us. The rock was landed on us. The rock was landed on us. The rock was landed on us.
Aboriginal people. Aboriginal people. Aboriginal people. Aboriginal people. Aboriginal people. Aboriginal people.
Aboriginal means the original inhabitant of a land from the earliest times. The ancient mound builders that built and designed the pyramids right here, not just by the Nile, contrary to popular belief in denial. Pyramids and huge hieroglyphics and pictographs on the ground are all mounds found around the American America's north, central, and south, even Venus and Mars. That is documented fact that emanates from my mouth. So who exactly were these Aboriginals here, whose ancient evidence of residency is hesitantly mentioned in this hemisphere? Were they the stereotypical Native American so-called Red Indians? Well then, let's be clear, ask any of their tribes if they're sincere, they'll tell ya those nouns predate the origins. Our past was erased and replaced with lies. Our achievements and identity plagiarized. We got amnesia of who we are, but we go way back further than the seats in your car.
Aboriginal people, Aboriginal people, Aboriginal people, Aboriginal people, Aboriginal people, Aboriginal people, Aboriginal people.
This is how we ride and roll. Soldier for life for sure.
Hey, people, I am here. This is JC, aka Afro Black, and I am here for another Indigenous Sunday to share nothing but the raw and uncut here on the Black Village, you feel me? And so I am here today to enjoy myself, to share with the conscious community, Indigenous, real truth, you feel me? Do you feel me? I am here, people. I am enjoying myself today. I'm trying to get things going. Don't give me. There you go. I'm also live on YouTube. You can catch me on YouTube, dropping nothing but the raw and uncut, as I always do every Indigenous Sunday. But the YouTube thing is something new. The YouTube thing is something new, and so I'm learning that, and I'm getting that together so I can share with the Indigenous conscious community. And I also want you to chime in. You can also chime in too. You can join me. You can chime in now live. You can join me live right now. Right now, you can join me live right here on the Black Village. You can chime in. It doesn't cost you a dime, just a bit of your conscious time. You can chime in at 857-232-0155. Again, that is 857-232-0155. 0155, and don't forget the conference key to get to the conference door to sit with me at the Conscious Table of Truth live on the air, and that is 947595. Again, that is 947595. That's the conference key to get to the conference door to sit with me here at the Black Village Conscious Indigenous Aboriginal Podcast. You feel me? So let me bring something in and give me something more easy to chime to. You feel me? Something, let me like that right there. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. Hey, some Tupac in the backdrop. You feel me? So let me put him in the backdrop right quick. Give us something easy to vibrate through. You feel me? As I share this Indigenous truth, and I think I just heard somebody chime in here on the conference table. I got my brother. I got brother. Go ahead. If you want to say something, brother, go ahead and say what's popping here on you live on the Black Village, my brother. So, or you just want to listen in?
Hello to everyone.
Go ahead, say that again, my brother.
I say hello to everyone.
Okay, wonderful. So today's podcast topic title is Culture Vultures. Who are the original American Aborigines today? That's the name of the podcast. The podcast topic today, my people, my family. Culture Vultures. Who are the original? Again, who are the original Aborigines today? Okay, I want to talk about that today. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because you got so many people out there denying us our cultural identity. You got the native, you got the Mongoloid Native American, the $5 Indian, the whitewashed Indian out there denying my birthright, denying my cultural identity, trying to play the culture vulture reversal game on us indigenous brothers and sisters out here. You feel me? And then you got the Pan-African Negro, the agent of the system. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call him. That's a universal thing that me and my Aboriginal brothers have labeled these Negroes, because that's exactly what the hell they are culture vultures as well. But they're culture vulturing and role reversing as well. You feel me? The Pan-African agent. Yes. This thing goes all the way back to the 1800 people. You know, that's another thing for another time. I'm going to bring that up. I'm going to do a podcast on that. You know, my brother Atanchin one. Peace to brother Atanchin is one love, one up. You know, give it up to brother warrior, comrade, warrior, indigenous warrior, indigenous researcher, warrior, brother Atanchin is one. Love that brother, man. Love to hear that brother drop the raw and uncut. Love to hear warrior drop the raw and motherfucking uncut. You feel me? And brother Atanchin is one. He does that, and he did a good one. He did a good one this past week, you feel me? Talking about these Pan-African agents. Talking about these Pan-African agents, how the majority of these motherfuckers come from the Caribbean islands. And I want you to know that goes all the way back to the 1800s. When you talk about, I think his name, Delaney, Roberson. I'm going to get into that in another podcast, talking about them Caribbean Negroes from the 1800s who aligned themselves with the American Colonization Society to try to relocate indigenous people to Africa. That's another podcast, but I'm going to talk, but that's still culture vulturing as well. You feel me? So I want to get into this. I got some audio casts I want to play. You feel me? And this audio cast that I'm going to play, the reason why this audio cast is important and it's speaking to the podcast topic that I'm talking about right now, culture vultures, who are the original American Aborigines. The reason I want to play this is because this is what's going on in Australia right now. Now, what's funny about what's going on in Australia is that we all know who the true Aborigines are of Australia. There's no confusion. There's no mind game. It's been too long and too many years, and the way them white devils came in on that landmass over there where those indigenous people are, how they came in over there. We all know the history. We all know England dumped on that island, dumped all their prisoners, all their criminals, all their rapists, they dumped them right there on that island with those indigenous peoples who are called the Aborigines of Australia. And we know we got too many photos. Let me temporarily mute you, my brother. I'll unblock you in a little bit. We got too many photos, too many stories, too many documentaries that's been done about the Aborigines of Australia for these motherfuckers to be doing what they're trying to do right now. And you know what? And for me to explain this to what they're doing right now, I'm going to just let you hear it. I'm going to let you hear what these devils are doing, okay, over there in Australia, how they're trying to culture vulture and role reverse. Yes, you got white people in Australia claiming Aborigine identity, claiming that they are Australian Aborigines. White people with blue eyes, blonde hair in Australia. Now, you might be saying, why are they doing this? That don't make sense. I mean, anybody can clearly see a white person is not an Australian Aborigine. By, yes, melanation, hair texture, and features. Aborigines don't look like white people, and white people don't look like Aborigines. It just happens that these motherfuckers landed on a landmass that you can't confuse white people. You can't confuse European devils with Aborigines. You can't. And yes, I said motherfucking devils. Whenever you plan some type of cultural reversal like what they've done over here and what they're trying to do over there right now, that's some devilish shit, man. That's some devilish motherfucking shit. Real talk. So, let me play this audio cast and let you guys hear. Let you hear what's going on right now in Australia. Get a bash of this. Check this out. Let me drop this in. Let you hear this right. Check this out right now.
So Dallas Mark says a little piece of paper doesn't define whether you're Aboriginal or not. But did you feel that it was a comment on your identity?
Well, yeah, it was. And as I said, I never used any of these services until my life went downhill real quick. And that was due to things are out of my control. My wife having depression, my son and my foster parents and my real brother passing away. It's all in 1 year. I get hit with all this. So I've got to try and pick myself up, swallow my pride and go into one of these places. And then I've got all them people telling me, hey, no, we're going to tell you whether you're Aboriginal or not.
There's so many stories. Mark, we haven't heard your story yet. What is your Aboriginal ancestry?
I'm Wiradjuri. My family, 4 generations have been in Trangie, and, that's pretty much it. My great-great-grandmother was born in the Lachlan Valley, and my great-grandmother was born on the banks of the Macquarie River the day the railway came to Dubbo, and then Mum and Nan were both born in Trangie, and that's where I grew up. So
I saw you described once as blonde, blue-eyed and fair-skinned. I'm not so sure about the blonde anymore. But
that's the biggest fear,
In spite of your appearance, have you always identified as Aboriginal?
What I find interesting about this conversation is if you've got a choice about it. When you grow up in a small country town, we didn't have choice about identity. We were that Aboriginal family. There's a couple of other people who went through the Andrew Bolt litigation, and that was probably the most offensive thing ever to happen in my life, where somebody from the outside questioned you. You know, I was raised by my mother and grandmother. My father was never, his English never featured in my life, so my experiences are just that.
Now you heard that. You heard that. That was a white man. Now, the first person who was talking, that was a real Aborigine. Now, how do I know this? I saw the video. This is an audio recording of the video. Okay? Damn it. I should have actually, because I got family right now. I got people who might be tuning into YouTube. Okay? And I could have actually put it up for you guys to see. But I got some other stuff I want you guys to see. I'm going to play on YouTube. But what you just heard, though, you heard it on you heard the audio cast. And all my listeners who are tuning in to Spreaker or any other way you might be tuning into my podcast, I'm going to tell you right now, the first person you heard talking was an Aborigine. The second motherfucker who was talking was a European white man posing as an Aborigine. You heard the host say you got blue eyes and blonde hair. And yeah, the motherfucker got pale skin too. I saw the audio. It was an actual town hall meeting in Australia. And the whole town hall was about who is Aborigine. Now, it doesn't make sense to me. Why is this question even being raised? You can obviously see who an Aborigine is in Australia visually. But I'm going to tell you why these white devils are playing this game over there with them. Because now the people in Australia, including the indigenous Aborigines, have assimilated into the white devil's European way of life that's been settled over there in Australia. Now, you do got the people, the indigenous inhabitants of Australia, the real Aborigines, who still live out in the forest. They still live according to their Aboriginal customs and traditions. But you got a lot of their children who have crossed over and assimilated. Why? Well, when you've got white motherfuckers stealing and taking the resources and controlling the land, and you're living off as much as you can, and then, you find yourself not being able to find the food that you used to be able to hunt for, the food you used to be able to fish for is not there like it used to be because these white devils are relocating waters, relocating lakes and rivers, and re-diverting resources. So now they send their children out to get an education. They send their children out to get a job. They send their children out to do what they can and send money back to their people. This happens everywhere, people. Now, as a result of the fact that they know that these white Australian devils know, these white European Australian devils know that a lot of the indigenous Aborigines are economically assimilating to survive. Now they got their white agent, white devils with 1%, 2% of indigenous blood like they've done over here. They're doing that to them. Let me let you hear another another audio cast, people. Let me let you hear another one. Just check this one out. Let me let you hear another. This is not, I'm not done. This is, watch, check this out.
Well, tonight on Insight, we're talking about Aboriginal identity. Well, Dallas, I've had a look at your blog. It's a pretty straight-talking, hard-hitting kind of forum. Tell us about it and why you started it.
Well, I was going through all of this, getting rejected. I thought to myself, why not? And, you know, it just sort of snowballed from there.
You're not shy about pointing a finger and saying, you say you're Aboriginal, but you're really not. That's pretty daring stuff.
If they want to identify as Aboriginal, that's great, because the Aboriginal people, we're open. But when the people do say that they are Aboriginal, stand up and be proud. But don't put your hand in the till where the money goes. That the money needs to be sorted out and going to the right people. Like there's kids out there that's still going hungry, but yet there's people going through universities who, sorry to say, but they're white, and we've still got little black kids running around that don't have any shoes on, or they're still hungry. It's about time that us black fellas said, right, the kids need the money. It should be more of a needs-based sort of
So where do you draw the line between those that should qualify for assistance and those that should not?
Yeah, well, for qualifying for assistance, I'm only looking at that if they need the money. Whereas they don't need the money going through the universities, all right? Because I didn't. I mean, geez, I didn't go to the university. But I've had a life experience.
Here, I'm Aboriginal, I'm Wiradjuri. My grandfather was born at Brungle Mission. I grew up my whole life being Aboriginal. And my colour is not anything about my Aboriginality. My colour is something that was imposed through colonisation. And I am Aboriginal. And the sort of mention of the fact that, Indigenous students going to university somehow don't need assistance is not right. Because what we're doing is the same thing that was done to us. We're judging each other by colour. It's not right.
No. We're the ones who get coloured and pointed at.
What I'm saying is that we shouldn't be judging each other by colour. We judge each other by our Aboriginality, our ancestry.
There you go, people. You heard it again. You heard it again. You hear these white devils are trying to come across these culture vultures. That woman was a white woman. You hear her get up and deny the fact, deny the fact that she's white, even though she got white skin. Deny the fact that she's white, though she got blue eyes. Deny the fact that she's white, even though she got white hair, and try to claim that she's Aboriginal. And when did you hear her stand up? She stood up when she heard the man talk about money. How money is being divested and how is it being given out. The same thing that we're dealing with over here, people. We're dealing with the same thing over here. It's all about money, ain't a damn thing funny. Do you hear me? It's all about money, ain't a damn thing funny. Ain't that what they say? Huh? So when it come to money, the same thing that we're dealing with over here. Now, the thing about over here, even though we want reparations, even though we want to get paid for what our ancestors, blood, sweat, and tears, something you can't even put a value on. Something you cannot even put a value. You can't put a value on this. But you heard my point. You heard my point. How the hell, the same game they're playing in Australia, they're playing over here, people. Now, I'm going to tell you a thing. I'm going to tell you something. Them white devils know they're not Aboriginal. Them white devils know that they are not Aboriginal and they're not indigenous to that land, just like the white devils over here know. Just because you got a great-great-grandfather. But what about the rest of your relatives? Huh? In my family, my mama is indigenous. My mama ain't white. My mama ain't mixed. My mama is not biracial. And that's another game in itself as well. My grandmother is indigenous. My father is indigenous. On my birth certificate, and these white devils have changed the birth certificates. They're playing the game with our children now, people. These systematic reptilians playing the game with our children now. Because now you look on these new birth certificates, the parents are not on them. Why would you change that? They kept the parents my parents, my mother and my father's name and identity, or so-called identity. I said so-called because that's not their identity, but it still leads you to who they are. It says on my birth certificate, it calls me a Negro, calls my mother a Negro, calls my father a Negro, which lets me know that both my parents are indigenous. The term Negro was designated to the indigenous American Aborigines of America. The first people to call us negros were the Spanish. Negros Americanos, motherfuckers. Raw and uncut. So, you heard it. You heard that white woman claiming that you can't base it. You can't come on. Let's hear her one more time. Let's hear this white woman. Let's hear this one more time. Let you hear number 2 again. Let me let you hear this again.
Well, tonight on Insight, we're talking about Aboriginal identity. Well, Dallas, I've had a look at your blog. It's a pretty straight-talking, hard-hitting kind of forum. Tell us about it and why you started it.
Well, I was going through all of this, getting rejected. I thought to myself, why not? And, it just sort of snowballed from there.
You're not shy about pointing a finger and saying, you say you're Aboriginal, but you're really not. That's pretty daring stuff.
If they want to identify as Aboriginal, that's great, because the Aboriginal people, we're open. But when the people do say that they are Aboriginal, stand up and be proud. But don't put your hand in the till where the money goes. That the money needs to be sorted out and going to the right people. Like there's kids out there that's still going hungry, but yet there's people going through universities who, sorry to say, but they're white, and we've still got little black kids running around that don't have any shoes on, or they're still hungry. It's about time that us black fellas said, right, the kids need the money. It should be more of a needs-based sort of set.
So where do you draw the line between those that should qualify for assistance and those that should not?
Yeah, well, for qualifying for assistance, I'm mainly looking at that if they need the money. Whereas they don't need the money going through the universities, all right? Because I didn't. I mean, geez, I didn't go to the university. But I've had a life experience.
Here, I'm Aboriginal and Wiradjuri. My grandfather was born at Brungle Mission. I grew up my whole life being Aboriginal. And my colour is not anything about my Aboriginality. My colour is something that was imposed through colonisation. And I am Aboriginal. And the sort of mention of the fact that, Indigenous students going to university somehow don't need assistance is not right. Because what we're doing is the same thing that was done to us. We're judging each other by colour. It's not right.
No. We're the ones who get coloured and pointed at.
What I'm saying is that we shouldn't be judging each other by colour. We judge each other by our Aboriginality, our ancestry.
You heard her, people. You heard that white woman. She says she's Aboriginal. Now, let's say she is. Because I'm going to tell you something. What the white man has done and he's doing over there, he's done over here already. He's destroying the most important thing, the most important factor, the most important ideology, the most important concept, the most important principle. He's deteriorating, and people are forgetting and they're not focusing on it. You know what that is? Culture. What makes you Aboriginal, what makes you who you are, is your culture. What culture have you embraced? She's going to claim her Aborigine according to her grandfather. Now, my question for her, because she looks like a white woman, I'm letting you hear the audio cast, but I saw the video cast beforehand. And when I saw the woman stand up and speak against that man, because what he said was right. He said the money needs to go to the little black children. He said there's still children in Australia. He said black children. That means these are Aborigine children who are going without food. Now, you might be saying, what does this have to do with us? The title of the podcast is Culture Vultures, who are the original American Aborigines today. You have Aborigines all over this planet, people. And I'm going to tell you right now, wherever you find a group of white people claiming that they've been living there for hundreds of years, believe me, there was some indigenous Aborigines living there before them that don't even look nothing like them. Because indigenous Aborigines, just like Brother Malcolm X said, Aborigines are dark-skinned people. You can't find a white Aborigine. And that's the thing about these white devils. They can't be found nowhere. They can't be found nowhere where they can claim that their white skin and white ancestry founded a goddamn thing. Because they ain't found nothing here. They haven't founded a goddamn thing here. What they founded and what they've discovered and what they've planted is destruction, chaos, confusion. That's the type of people that they are, people. A people of chaos, destruction, and confusion. You heard it. What the hell? You got a group of people, and if you go on YouTube and pull up this video cast, you'll see for yourself. You see a room full of Aborigines and white people arguing and debating over what? Who is Aborigine? And we all know what the face of the land of Australia prior to European colonization, or might I say, European dumping their rapists, serial killers, and murderers on a landmass, which they labeled Australia. Prior to that, the face of Australia, the face of that land that's been labeled Australia by Europeans, was a face of color. There was not a fucking white person in Australia prior to them motherfuckers being dumped over there. Raw and uncut. Raw and uncut. This is the Black Village. I'm going to give it to you raw and motherfucking uncut, people. You feel me? So, continuing this here, all right? I got some more audio casts I could play, but you know what? Let me get into some video. Let me verify some stuff here and so bear with me, people. Let me verify some stuff here. Okay. I want to play. I want to matter of fact, let me put this. So check this out, people. Check this out here now. Let me let you see this here. It better be showing up. It ain't showing up. Okay. Let me go back to me. I want y'all to see this because I must show this. Okay. Okay. All right. So it's not showing my. No, but there's no problem. It's no problem. Let me fix this. Because I want to show. I'm gonna let y'all see this. It's something I want you guys to see. Like I say, who was here before white people got here? Huh? That's the question. Who was here before white people got here, people? That's the question. Was there white people here? Huh? Have white people always been here? That's the question, people. Huh? Have white people always been here? Or did white people discover when they came over here and discovered this land, so they claim, that they discovered something that was already inhabited? Or did they discover something that was already discovered? You feel me? That's the question, people. And so I got something I want to share with you guys right quick. Let me pull this up. Okay. Come on up here. Pull this up right quick. Come on up. Okay. While I do this, let me play this other audio cast, people. Let you guys hear this right quick. I'm gonna pull up this book I want to read. I got this book I want to read that talks about the indigenous people of the Americas who were here. Okay. Let me get back over here. And so let me play this audio cast right quick. Let me play this right here. I'll play this and I'll be right with you.
What I'm saying is that we shouldn't be judging each other by colour. We judge each other by our Aboriginality, our ancestry, our relationship to each other.
As digitally black people, are discriminated against because we're black.
But we're also
I mean, I've had to
because we're not
forego
black.
that many jobs because of my skin.
Yeah, but
not
I get
because
it
I'm
too.
Aboriginal, but I'm black.
Yeah, but
I'm
I get it
offensive
too.
to look at.
But I'm also been denied a job because I didn't look black. So I understand that there is discrimination for those that look black.
But you don't understand what he said.
Oh, I completely. I don't get it.
I have drove down the street at Redfern in a car as well, going to work, and being pulled up and my car searched. Now, have you ever had that done?
No, and I can completely agree
Why
that
haven't
because I
you
don't
had
look
that
dark.
done?
But I also get like what people consider reverse racism, but it's still racism. Just because I don't look black doesn't mean I'm not Aboriginal. Doesn't mean that I've grown up that way, and it doesn't mean that I can't be proud of who I am. Just because I don't have skin colour makes me no different to any of you that have colour. My family is my family. My community is my community. We all know that. But just because I'm white doesn't mean...
Let's get a comment from Best Price.
There you go, people. You heard it. You heard that girl arguing with an indigenous Aborigine about being Aborigine. And this girl who she's talking to, who's claiming just because her skin is white, who's claiming she's Aborigine. Did you hear me? Did you hear that audio cast? Anybody who's looking at my YouTube thing right now, I'm trying to pull up a book, and for some reason the book is not coming up. I don't know why the book won't come up, but it's all good. I ain't tripping. All right, so I can't get this book to come up on my computer. My computer moving like a snail. It's all good. But you heard that. As I said, these people are culture vultures. These people are culture vultures, people. There you go. There go the book. The book popped up. Finally popped up. Now, anybody right now, let me read this right quick. Let me go on over here and read this book right quick. I want y'all to see this, okay? Alrighty. So now, let me go on right down here. This book is let me tell you what this book is right quick. You can go check this out yourself. Let me read this book. I want y'all to check this book out. This book is talking about the people who were here before Europeans came over and colonized, before they brought their mama, their grandmama, their sisters, their brothers, their uncles, their nieces, and their nephews. Do you feel me? Okay? Before there was a mass colonization of white people here in America, what did this country look like? Huh? Did it have white folks here? Huh? Was there white people here? Or was there anybody who looked white that you could confuse with the indigenous population? Because you can't confuse red, blue, and purple. You cannot confuse those colors, just like you cannot confuse white and black. But for some reason, when it comes to indigenous people, these motherfuckers become retarded and they become stupid. They become stupid and retarded when it comes to culture, when it comes to indigenous people all of a sudden. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it's a game of politics. That's exactly what it is. Now, I got this book right here. I'm drawing some information from. I want to share with you guys. This is from a book and a source. That's the Harriet Beecher publication by Corey and Fairbanks of 1833. So this is from an encyclopedic book dating back to 1833. Now, so let me scroll down. I want you to check this out. Check this out. Okay, people, check this out. Check this out. All right, the book starts off by saying, okay, let me start off. The inhabitants of this world, let me blow this up a little bit so I can make sure I can read this here, man. Make sure I'm getting a dose of this so I can make sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. The inhabitants of this world are different in their appearance according to the country they inhabit. Some are white, like the people of America today. Some have a dark yellowish complexion. Some are copper colored. Some are black. They are therefore divided into 5 classes according to their appearance. These classes are, starting with the Europeans, the Asiatics, the Africans, the Americans, and the Malaysians. You see what listen here. He chops up these people into these categories. Why? Because it's according to their locations, according to their indigenous locations. He says these classes are the Europeans, the Asiatics, the Africans, the Americans, and the Malayans. All right, so Let me go on down. Who cares about the white people? We know where their motherfuckers are from. Let's get down to the point that I want to talk about. All right, so check it out. Now this is from the book. Before white people came over to America, it had many tribes of people in it. Some of these tribes still remain in the United States and in the countries in the countries north of it and in South America. These form what are called the American race. They have a copper-colored skin, long black hair, small dark eyes, and very thick lips and broad noses. Let me repeat that one more time to you people. These form what are called the American race. They have a copper-colored skin. That is the first thing he says. They have a copper-colored skin, long black hair, small dark eyes, and very thick lips and broad noses. If you look on the map of Asia, you will see a country called Malay. Now you're going to the Malaysian people. Let's talk about this. Let's see what he says about the Malaysian people. The islands, together with the Australians and Polynesians, are inhabited by the Malay race. These people are different from the Americans in having a brown instead of copper colored. Listen. My goodness. Did you hear that? He said these people are different from the Americans in having a brown instead of a copper-colored skin. And if you're confused about what the fuck he mean by copper-colored, go get a handful of pennies. Why you think the white man put Abraham Lincoln on a copper penny? Why you think the white man put Abraham Lincoln on a copper penny? A copper penny is the only piece of metal that changes its complexion as it gets older. And so you got red brown looking pennies. You know, you go get a fresh brand new penny that it'll look a reddish brown, a cinnamon brown. You got pennies that are dark brown. You got pennies that are very dark brown. The pennies are the best example of showing or giving a metaphoric example of how the people of America looked like prior to European colonization. Now let me go back to what he's talking about these Malay people. He says talking about the people of Malaysia. These people are different from the Americans in having brown skin instead of a copper-colored skin. In having soft, now he's talking about the hair texture and having soft, curly black hair instead of straight, coarse. Many of the Malay race are handsome for their complexion, often not darker than some of the darkest ones in our country. Man, now check out what he says about the African. Now we're going down to what he says about the African. The African race have black, woolly hair, black skin. They have principally in the middle parts of Africa. Here are pictures of the Africans and Americans showing you the difference. Look, dark. Here, we're not that dark. There you go, people. There you go right there. So I just had to show you that. Let me go on back over here now. Let me get on back over here. Out of that. Okay. Let me give me a minute to get this off the screen because my computer's moving a little slow, but I got it going on. There you go. Back with you, YouTube, back with you. Oh, wow. I got cut off from my live feed. Wow. I got cut off from my live feed. Wow. While showing that I got cut off from my live feed. But that's okay, people. You heard it. I read it to you. Those who are listening in, who heard me, you heard what I was saying. You heard what I'm talking about. We are the indigenous Aborigines of America. You feel me? We are the American Aborigines of America. Everybody in this country who has melanated complexion, everybody in this country who look like me, Now I'm back on the air, okay? My stuff was cut off for a minute there. Just as I was reading something I was showing my people, I want you guys to see this live. I got cut from the air for some strange reason. But it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. You feel me? I'm back. And, let me see. I don't know if it's going to let me show this. It might not even let me show you guys because I got cut off. My YouTube channel was cut for some reason, disconnected as I was dropping this wisdom. You feel me? Dropping this truth, dropping this historically documented truth. You feel me? So it's all good. It's all good. But it's all good. You feel me? But, and I wanted to show, I want to show this. Let me see if I'm able to show it still. Let me see if it's going to let me show it. Yeah, there we go right there. There we go right there. I was trying to show that to everybody. If anybody who could see that, excuse me. Anybody who could see that. Okay. Come on now. Make sure I'm still there. I'm still there. So this is what I was showing everybody. Anybody who caught this is what I was trying to show everybody right here. I'm going to read this one more time. Okay. This is, like I said, this is from a book. An encyclopedic book called Harriet Beecher. The book is called Harriet Beecher, Beecher. Harriet Beecher, published by Corey and Fairbanks of 1833. Okay, and it's talking about look, the inhabitants of the world are different in their appearance according to their country they inhabit. So now if you go down, when it talks about us here in America, it says before white people came over to America, it had many different tribes of people in it. Some of these tribes still remain in the United States and in countries north of it and in South America. These form what are called the American race. They have a copper-colored skin, long black hair, small dark eyes, and very thick lips and broad noses. You feel me? Telling you who we are. Now you might say copper color. Not everybody in America who claim they're indigenous or claim they're from America have copper colored skin. Fool, you got to know what copper color is. Copper color comes in many shades. A penny is only a metaphoric example, not a true example, but the closest example you can give. A penny. You go get a handful of pennies. You're going to see different shades of brown on those pennies. None of those two, not 2 pennies or 3 pennies are same in appearance. And that's just like we are over here. Many different shades of brown, many different shades of copper-colored brown. From dark brown to cinnamon brown to red brown to brown to dark brown to light brown. That's us. I got no relatives across the waters. You got white people who know their relatives who live in other countries. Just like you got Asians over here who know their relatives live in other countries. But the majority of indigenous Americans, predominantly all Aboriginal Americans, I'm going to tell you how you know who we are. We ain't got no fucking relatives across the waters. That's how you know who we are. That's how you know who the fuck we are. We don't have any relatives across the waters. Huh? Like white people. Huh? Like Asians. Huh? Even like the Caribs over who come over here. We got no relatives across the waters, people. I got no relatives across the waters. All my people are right here on American soil. From my aunties to my grandmothers on both sides of my family, to my grandfathers on both sides of my family, to my great uncles, to my uncles, to my nieces and my nephews on both sides of my family. I ain't got no motherfucking relatives in Africa. I ain't got no motherfucking relatives, not even in the Carib Islands. So when you got these motherfuckers running around here trying to role reverse, trying to culture vulture us, people, huh? Trying to culture vulture us? We got to wake up. We got to wake up. Now, I got something else I want to show. This is a brother's video. I'm not even sure if this is going to pop up the way my computer's acting right now. I was going to also play, show an article, a book, which is Giovanni Verasano, the Italian explorer who came over here and straight say the people he saw over here looked like Ethiopians. He didn't just say any Africans. He said Ethiopians. And I want you to know Ethiopians don't look like Sudanese. Ethiopians don't look like Nigerians. Ethiopians don't look like Congolese. Ethiopians don't look like Tanzanians. That was the closest thing that they said that our people look like was to Ethiopians. He didn't say our people were Ethiopians. He said look like Ethiopians. We got to wake up, people. You feel me? We got to wake up. We got to stop playing games with ourselves because the white man don't mind playing those games. He enjoys those games. He enjoys those dumbass games. Games, what kind of games? Games of not knowing who we are. When we can simply just look at our family members, talk to our aunts, our uncles, our grandparents. Do you feel me? Let me play another. I got another audio cast I want to play. Okay, I got this one right. I want to play this one right quick, and then I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna have to postpone this, and I'm gonna get back on this again and bring this back to a part 2 of Culture Vultures, who are the original Aborigines. So let me play this right quick, and so we can, let me play it. Let me play this right quick. Check this out. You feel me? Check this out.
Just because I don't have skin colour makes me no different to any of you that have colour. My family is my family. My community is my community. We all know that. But just because I'm white doesn't mean...
Let's get a comment from Best Price.
I've just got one question. Why don't you acknowledge the other heritage that you have and be proud of it?
I do.
And just not go one way.
I completely agree.
I can stand up and say I'm a black fella and I've got one blood and that's it.
Yep.
But my daughter, whose father is sitting next to me, she acknowledges the father and the other heritage that she has. She doesn't just say that she's a black fella.
Oh, I know
that has to happen here in Australia, so we can all then, be honest and equal with each other and understanding, because it creates that division. It creates a division. Look, I didn't know you were a black fella as well, because I'm sitting here and you totally look like a white fella to me.
That's your view.
Excuse me, but sorry. But, that we have to acknowledge that and just say that, for the sake of all these other people. Now, hang on, let me finish. Let me finish, because, out there, my people are on the ground, got nothing else.
All of this is sounding an awful lot like the Darwinian stuff that came in when colonisation happened, where colour could be bred out with every single generation.
Could we have one person at a time, please, Graham?
Yeah, look.
Okay, people. I kind of got lost for a minute there, but you heard it. You hear the argument. You hear the argument. You see what's going on. You see what's going on, people. You got people who are claiming an identity, a culture that's not even theirs. You hear the confusion going on right there. You just heard that. You heard that white woman. No, actually, that was an Aborigine sister that was talking. And she asked her, why don't you acknowledge your other side? And I want you to know, the girl she was talking to looked like a white girl. There is no confusion. Two things that can tell us who we are. Two things, simple, that tells us who we are. Your melanated complexion and your culture. Well, actually, three things. Your melanated complexion definitely tells you who you are, because white people have no melanation. Your culture and your great-great-grandparents who embrace the same culture. Your culture should lead you to your people. Your culture should lead you to the locality of where your people started out at, where your people were planted. You feel me? There's no confusion, people. The only confusion there is the fact that you got people out there manipulating. You got people out there playing the culture vulture game. You got people out there playing the role reversal game. That's the only thing that's confusing things with people. What's confusing things with people is that they're not paying attention. Those who are Aboriginal, doesn't matter if it's here in America or Australia or the Polynesian Islands or the Malay, doesn't matter. Embrace the culture of your mother, of your father, of your grandparents. You feel me? Find out who your parents are, who your grandparents are, who your great-grandparents are, which isn't a mystery whatsoever. Only a mystery to those who are playing this political identification game with us. Do you feel me? So, on that note, people, it's time for us to wake up. Time for us to wise up, rise up, and tribe up. You feel me? You know, and it's happening. Something that the white devil cannot stop. This awakening that is going on has nothing to do with Europeans, have nothing to do with white people, and they can't stop it. So, on that note, as I said, I had some other stuff I wanted to share with you guys. I had also a video I wanted to show, but due to the fact that my computer is moving like a snail for some strange reason, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to play that, leave and put that up. So, let me go over here. So, on that note, I'm going to end my podcast, you guys. I got to go. I will be back next Indigenous Sunday, dropping nothing but the raw and uncut. I do have other audio casts I did want to play. Okay. But I ain't got time for that. I don't have the time. I'm going to have to try. I'm going to have to come back next week. And continue this subject matter, culture vultures, who are the original American Aborigines today. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back next week. I'm going to clean up my computer, which see if I can speed my laptop back up and get things going back on my laptop so I can play some of the stuff that I want everybody to see. I was able to get that one book up. Thank God I was able to get that book up. But I also have some video casts I want to play. But it don't look like I'm going to be able to play this video cast because it don't look like my computer is going to let me bring up my video. So, let me go end my podcast. I will be back. I want to encourage all those who care about culture, who care about who they are, who care about family, and who care about truth, to research your family. Do the best you can. And as I always tell people who don't know what to do, a lot of people don't know what to do. And I'm going to tell you, most of the people who don't know what to do are the American Aborigines. Those of us who are American Aborigines. We're the ones who don't know what to do. So let me tell you what you can do, all right? To get yourself started, to get things going, to get the ball rolling. I've shared this before. I'm going to share it again. What you can do and what you should do is first find out the birthplace of your grandmother and your great-grandmother. I'm going to say it again. Start with your grandmother and your great-grandmother. Find out the birthplace of your grandmother and your great-grandmother. If you don't know that, go online and look up death records and birth records under the last name of your grandparents and your great-grandparents. Start with that route. Once you find out the birthplace and locality of where your grand and great-grandparents were raised and born at, then you can go from there to find out the indigenous people that were the original indigenous people of that locality, and whether or not if they were relocated or not. That's how you start, my people. That's the beginning stages. Start with your mother, your grandmother, and your great-grandmother. Your mother, your grandmother, and your great-grandmother. Find out where your grandmother and your great-grandmother were born. And once you find out where they're born at, what county, what locality, what state they were born in, then you can go find out where the indigenous tribes were located at in that area. And from there, you can find out rather if Indians or if tribes were relocated, brought in, and brought out. And then from there, you can find out, you can link that to your great-grandparents. You feel me? You can link that to your great-grandparents. Real talk. Because if your great-grandmother If your great-grandmother was born in Mississippi, the question is, where at in Mississippi was she born at? When you find, and I'm going to tell you the reason why this is important. A lot of so-called black folks, we don't like to move now. Can you imagine how it was back then? Where we were settled at is where we were settled at. That's the reason why land was so sacred to our people. That's the reason why land was and is so sacred to our ancestors, because they were planted where they were at, and that's where they stayed. They very seldom, look, nomadic Indians ran across everywhere. But indigenous Aborigines were and are not nomadic. Plains Indians are nomadic. They have a tendency to just flow and go wherever. But woodland Aboriginal Indians, which are the so-called black people, we are the woodland, the majority of us are the woodland Aboriginal Indians. We stay where our ancestors were for thousands of years. So again, I would encourage you to go do that, to research that, find that out, my people. I'm going to get out of here. I got to go. I got to fucking tune up my computers and find out what's going on, because there was some stuff I wanted to show you guys. I couldn't pull up. I was barely able to pull up that one book I was able to pull up and show you guys. But even in the process of that, I got disconnected from YouTube for some strange reason. So let me work out the kinks of my program, the kinks of my... I'm going to get this together, people. Just bear with me. I'm going to get this together. It's going to be more professional. I'm getting it. Just bear with a brother. You feel me? But on that note, I got to go. But I'll definitely be back, and I'll definitely be indigenously back, dropping nothing but the raw and uncut here on the Black Village. You feel me? I am your host, who does the most. I'm your moderator. I'm JC, aka Afro Black. I'm the one behind the microphone. Anybody who listened to my past audio podcast, this is the face behind the voice. You feel me? And I will be back next Indigenous Sunday, dropping nothing but the raw and uncut, as I always do. Bear with me as I get my video cast together. You feel me? No problem with my audio cast. You can always go back and listen to this show on Spreaker, on YouTube, because I will be editing it and uploading it on YouTube, the video and the audio. But the audio will sound much more smoother. As you see my video, it's okay, but it's kind of tripping too, because there was some things I want to show you I wasn't able to show you when I did bring up something. It disconnected me. So YouTube people, bear with me. Be patient with a brother. I'm going to get it together. You feel me? I'm still learning this shit. But other than that, let me give a shout outs to all my indigenous comrades. Brother K. Peace, my brother. Brother Michael Hampton. Much love, my brother. Brother Dane Calloway. Keep at it, my brother. All my young warriors. Brother Dwight. You feel me? Brother, the brothers in the bar exam room who I be chopping it up with. You feel me? Much love to all my young warriors. When I say young warriors, I'm talking about my American Aboriginal warriors. You feel me? One love, you people. We got to bring this thing together. You feel me? Phoenix Moon, get back on the air, girl. Get with me. I want to have you guys join me in a podcast. You feel me? So one love to all you guys. I got to go. You feel me? I got to do my thing. I got to get some stuff fixed. I got to find out what's going on, get the kinks out, you feel me? So this video cast can run a whole lot much more smoother. But on that note, as I always say, may the great mother bring us together under the wings of her love and her peace. And as always, you feel me? I love chicken. So I always say love, peace, and chicken grease. Much love. Peace, people.